I am Dr. Loy. I'm the anesthesiologist in this hospital. I've been with Colombia since 2007 when we first started here. I done anesthesia for I think last almost 30 years. Since 1996, I've been doing anesthesia. Been a specialist since 2003. It has been a long time. Well, graduated all the way from UKM, undergrads and postgraduates, UKM. I served in a few hospitals, Seremban General Hospital, then Kuala Lumpur General Hospital, KLGH, UKM, and then finally here. So all the way anesthesia. So after I finished my housemanship after 1 year, I was supposed to go to referees to the health center, klinik kesihatan kan, so to serve. But then as I was in Seremban anesthesia department was really short. That time they have only one specialist and two medical officers to run the whole service, three of them. So me and the other friends are absorbed into anesthesia. So, and I was in anesthesia since then, since 1996. So I spent 3 years as a medical officer in anesthesia. Then I went into master program in 1999, and in 2003 I graduated. So 4 years, 5 years of undergrads, then work for 4 years, and then another 4 years of. Basically, in anesthesiology, we are preparing patients for surgeries, looking after them during the surgeries, and we make sure that they have the least amount of complication from the surgeries after the anesthesia. So from the morning when we wake up in the morning, depends on the case that is listed on that day. Let's say if you have cases listed at 8 o'clock, you go straight into OT before the case started. You start preparing the operating theatre, preparing the drugs, preparing the resuscitation, check the machines, everything. And when the time comes, bring the patient in. And then if you need to, get the IV line or else start administering anesthesia, put them to sleep, make sure they go through the surgery well, wake them up, monitor them in their recovery, make sure they are okay, then send them back to the ward. At the end of many cases, when the OT closes, when we have two more things to do. One, we have to go to the ward and we start looking at the patient that has gone through the surgery that day. That means we make sure they are not in pain, okay, the vitals are stable, and they're not vomiting. Make sure they can eat, they can walk, they can talk, they can breathe well. Okay? And task number 2 is to look at the patient that's coming for surgery the next day. Start preparing them. So, is there any investigation that we needed? Okay, is there any workout that we needed to do? Is there any medicine that the patient is needed? Or is the patient safe enough to go for surgery this time? Or else we may have to delay the surgery, make the appropriate referral to a different discipline, get some other doctors to come in to see them first. So after all that, then only we go home. That is on the day that you are not on call. And if you're on call, yes, the same routine goes on, and the ending time may actually differ. Sometimes, like yesterday, I end up by about 10, 11 o'clock at night. So only at 11 o'clock at night I start looking at the today's patient, and then the patient that I did yesterday. The conduct of anesthesia. in theatre, we have basically three main group of anesthesia techniques that we're looking at. Number one, we have general anesthesia, where we knock the patient out. Okay, number two, we have what we call a regional anesthesia. That means we provide anesthesia only to a certain region of the body. Let's say lower half of the body, or one arm, one legs. Number three, we have local anesthesia. That means it's a very much smaller, localized anesthesia effect on one patch of the body. General anesthesia is actually more complicated. Okay, basically in general anesthesia, we need to establish a IV access, venous access. That means you're gonna set drip, put that drip, make sure it works. Okay, then we put out the monitors, looking at the heart, the ECG, looking at the heart, the blood pressure, and then we monitor their saturation. And in certain cases, we even monitor the brainwave, look at awareness. Okay, then we will pre-oxygenate the patient, putting a mask with 100% oxygen. So let the patient breathe 100% oxygen. This is what we also call denitrogenation, because we want the lungs to get filled up with 100% oxygen. Because the next step is administrating the drugs. The moment the anesthesia agent goes in, patient lost consciousness, patient lost the ability to breathe. So they won't be breathing. So when they don't breathe, we will have to assist them to breathe. We assist them to breathe by inserting an airway apparatus from the mouth into the lungs, and that will be connected to a machine called a ventilator. So at the end of general anesthesia, when the surgery got finished, we will wake the patient up, we will train the patient to breathe, and when they are ready, we will perform what we call extubation. That means we remove the airway from the airways. Okay. So the tubes, the laryngeal mask, whatever, we'll take it out. Okay. This is an old surgical technique. We call it operation on the abdominal aortic aneurysm. That's why the AAA, abdominal aortic aneurysm. Okay, those days, what happened is, let's say if you have a defect in your aortas, aortas are one of the biggest arteries in the body. It runs from the heart all the way down to the pelvis, where it bifurcates into two other big arteries. Let's say the portion in the abdomen, the wall weakened. And it starts swelling. In the olden times, we used to operate on the patient. We open up the abdomen cavity. We split open we kind of push away all the bowels, everything. When you look at the artery, we look at the aorta, we will have to repair the aorta by putting some synthetic material over it and suture it up. During this time, the aorta will have to be cross-clamped. You have to clamp the aorta so they stop the blood flow. So you open it up, stitch it up, then you open it back. So imagine it is like, the aorta in the abdomen carries about 60 to 70% of the flow to the whole body. That means the heart is still pumping. Okay, suddenly you clamp the majority part of it, so the blood pressure will shoot up. Suddenly the whole system resistance just rocketed, and by the time they finish repairing, they will open the cross clamp. The moment they open the cross clamp, the heart that has just been adjusted to the heart pumping suddenly say, "Hey, where are all the resistance?" So the blood pressure will crash. So I think that until today remain one of the most difficult surgery. Yeah, but now thank God we have now a lot of newer techniques that will actually do endoscopically, endovascular. That without cutting open. That means last time we do not have that. So any repair will have to be done from outside. Most important thing to become a doctor, you have to love human interactions. Yes. At the end of the day, a lot of times, what really makes a patient feel better may not be your medicine. It is you. It is your approach. You make them feel better, okay, and how you tackle them, how you interact with them. So if you are the time of the old doctors, where you can see some old doctors, very old doctors, those days they just become a doctor and they become rich. And you can see a lot of the older generation, they tanya, doctor, what is this? Hello, saya doktor kan kau doktor? Saya cakap kau buat, jangan nanya. Those are the attitudes of a lot of the doctors. But I think that is not the right way. To make a person feel better, a lot of time it started from the interaction of human interaction itself. You make them feel comfortable, you make them feel, you give hope, you give encouragement. That is what makes you a better doctor than that.